I suppose this shows that momentum is really building now on the international effort to bring down the Kinahan cartel. The fact that Assistant Commissioner John O'Driscoll, head of serious and organised crime here, is in Washington at the moment shows the pace at which this investigation is going, the trajectory. We had that major press conference in City Hall here last month with the US announcing sanctions against the Kinahan cartel, a $5 million reward for information, which would lead to the conviction of Christy Kinahan Sr., his sons Daniel and Christopher Jr. and 4 other senior members of the gang. And then the United Arab Emirates a week later announcing sanctions, that it was going to freeze the assets of the members of the Kinahan organisation there. And now we have this announcement that the US is going to ban over 600 people with suspected links to the Kinahans from entering the country, most of them from the boxing world. And former Assistant Commissioner Pat Leahy says these sanctions all taken together are really going to bite. They're going to have the desired effect. He said most of the people would not even imagine that they would get onto a list like this.
It's international policing, international police cooperation, focusing on the connection with sport here. And I think probably what's happening there is, if they were allowed to progress and for a criminal organisation or a criminal network to get so embedded in an international sport where finance is freely available, we could end up with a huge money laundering situation at the highest echelons of sport. And the questions probably are being asked at the moment: where would they go next? From boxing, where would they go? Would they go into football and other areas of sport?
Now, Pat Leahy has also welcomed the fact that people are coming forward with information against the Kinahan cartel, potential evidence, and that the day-to-day running of the cartel business is going to become more and more difficult now as trust breaks down, and the criminal partners, those involved in this network, are not going to want the spotlight on them, not going to want this heat on them. So for the Kinahan cartel, their world is going to become smaller and the net is going to tighten.